What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. I hope that you are having a fantastic day as always. Well, let's see. What are we talking about today? We're talking about something that probably most of you don't care about, which is totally fine, but I care about, and I wanted to give my opinion now that I've had an opportunity to play it a little bit longer, and that is the new live arena seasons that came out about a week ago now. So I've had a chance to play them. I've done some fun streams, some good sessions playing live arena, and so I wanted to give my feedback and my opinion on where I think Plarium got things right and where I think maybe Plarium got things wrong, now that I've had an opportunity to really experience the new season. So let's start with the good. Let's start with the good, right? Because I think you should always start with the good, ideally, unless there's no good, and there is some good here. First and foremost, hey, it's seasons, right? For those of us that play live arena or, used to play a lot of live arena or interested in any kind of PvP in this game, some form of seasons has been desperately needed for a very long time for live arena, because realistically, as you can see, some of these point totals are pretty insane on the general leaderboard here. These are totals you could play basically every day, all day, and never hit. And so there would need to be some kind of incentive for people to want to play live arena more frequently, right? Myself included. I mean, I got to a point where I really just didn't care anymore about pushing. You can see here I'm only at 9,300 on the general leaderboard. Big cry away from 64,904. But we'll also talk about how people got this amount of points as well in a minute. So the fact that we have some type of seasonal model, this is a win. This is great. Good on Plarium for finally bringing this in. They talked about it for a long time. They finally delivered it, and at least we have some form of a leaderboard that will reset. So that is what I would consider a win, at least in part. Let's talk about another win with live arena seasons. Hey, listen, rewards, new rewards. You get rewards for climbing up the seasonal ladder, which you can see here. Everybody has a chance to get these rewards, as well as seasonal chests. After you complete all of this, then every 175 points you get some seasonal chests that contain some of the new gear. New gear sets is also kind of cool, right? That's another thing that I would consider to be kind of a win. Stone Cleaver specifically looks like it could be really great for stone skin builds and trying to get that more and more out of arena, which I think overall could be a good thing. Some caveats there as well in terms of what the PvP meta is, but hey, any kind of reward is always better than no kind of reward. So this is one thing I would consider a win as well. Now, I think that's about it for the wins. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I really sat here and thought about, my experience playing this so far for the last week, and then also what it was like beforehand. And I was trying to think, are there really any other big wins for what they introduced? And candidly, I really don't think that there is. And now we get to the part of the video where I have to be a little realistic and also a little critical on what I consider to be kind of the Plarium modus operandi of how they do any type of rework of content in this game. And that is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You could apply this to any area of the game where they've gone in and tried to fix things or update things, whether it's the tavern, whether it's the market, right? There's always some kind of improvement, but it never goes as far, in my opinion, as it needs to, or as most of the community or CCs or anyone else would ask for it to go. And I think we have the same exact problem here with live arena as well. Let's start with how this season works and why this is kind of an issue for me. Now, when you're trying to create PvP competitive modes, whether it's Raid Shadow Legends, whether it's an FPS game like Call of Duty or Marvel Rivals, I'm personally not a big fan of a system that basically is based almost entirely on how many times you play, rather than taking into account your actual elo of the people that you're beating. And the best example I can use of this is think of chess, right? Chess rewards you for beating better players. If you are the number 10 ranked chess player and you beat the number 1 ranked chess player, well, that's a match you shouldn't have won. You're going to go up quite a bit in elo because you beat somebody that was supposed to beat you. And there, consequently, if you are the number 1 ranked chess player and you lose the number 10, you're going to lose elo at a higher rate than you might normally. That's not what Plarium has done here. They have done just a strict 0 elo If you win, you get 9 points. If you lose 3 points system. And what ends up happening with that is you really don't get a sense of who the best overall player is in the game. What it ends up happening is people at the top of the leaderboard then are incentivized to share accounts. And so not everybody in the top 10 does this, to be clear. There are many people up here that don't do that. But some of these top players, this isn't one person playing or even 2 people playing or sometimes even 3 people playing. It's sometimes 3, 4, or more people playing in every single live arena slot that is available. Because look at how many battles you already get. 965, 1,000 battles. Physically impossible for one person to have done this unless they just don't sleep, unless they don't ever eat. All they do is play live arena all day. And so you have the scenario where multiple people are playing an account in every single opening, and it doesn't give you a really good sense of who's actually the best. It's just whoever can play the most. Frankly, that sucks. That sucks. This ranking system, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, is total dog shit. And is such a missed opportunity for Plarium to get this right and to base this off of ELO. This should be a system that, yes, rewards people for playing more, sure, but rewards people more for their win rate and the people that they beat. If you really wanted to get a true sense of quote unquote who is the best or who has the strongest account or the best strategies or some combination thereof, this would not look like this. And it's a major, major disappointment that this is how they chose to do this system. It's such a bummer. And that's not even because I think I would have a chance to be number one. I'm not going to be number one. I just think this is unfair to the great players who don't have 3 or 4 people playing on their account. And frankly, in my opinion, Plarium needs to rework this for the next season. You need to go back to the drawing board here. We need to do this the right way because we've only gone a quarter of the way to where we're supposed to go. We're supposed to go to a place that gives us a better assessment of player strength instead of just whoever's going to share the account with the most people and have them play the most. So this is a real disappointment for me. Really a big disappointment. I expected better. And I hope that Plarium is open to listening to feedback and improving the system, or at least limiting it so that, okay, if you're not going to change it to ELO, right, which I think you frankly should, and that's going to, result in a much fairer overall experience for everybody. But if you're not going to change it to ELO, at least limit the amount of battles that count on this ladder per day. I mean, seriously, it should be limited to 20 to 30 battles. That's it, that count on the seasonal battle, ranking daily, so that there is no incentive for someone to split the account with 4 different people. That would be the other easy way to fix this. Is any of this going to get fixed? I have no idea. But as it stands right now, it's really not a fair or good system at all. Let's also talk about matchmaking. This is in the first week has been really, really, really hit or miss. And for all of those who are watching this video who are very low-level live arena players, I feel for you. I have seen so many battles where people have been pitted against accounts that are 100 times stronger. The matchmaking has been really bad. Like, there's no other way to put it, where you are just getting matched with accounts that you never should if you are a super strong account, and you're absolutely destroying them. They have no chance whatsoever. Now, I think this may get better over time, and I know the higher up you get this ladder, the higher you get into top 100, the harder the matches get for sure. So on the top 25 or so, the matches are significantly more difficult. And frankly, that's a good thing. You should be matched against the top players if you're trying to climb a ladder of the top players, right? But you really have to get into that higher level area for it to start to kick in. And so right now, you can't see here, I'm sitting at just outside top 100. I have no clue what I'm actually at. But, I've been in the top 100 multiple times when I've done sessions, getting up to, I think, as high as 40th. Overall or something like that. And I can tell you that the matches certainly got harder as I went up, but I would like to see better matchmaking overall. Maybe this solves itself as more people climb the ladder. One of the big things that happened when Live Arena first launched is a lot of the strong accounts got matched with the weak accounts and they just would decimate them. And eventually over time that changed as people ended up getting higher and higher and higher points. But it is something to note because I do think you shouldn't have matches where you're facing a 2,000 player, 2,000 level account on the general leaderboard, and you've been, a live arena demon for, years at this point. It just isn't fun for them. And frankly, it's not, well, I'm not gonna say it's not fun. It's always fun to curb stomp somebody, but it's really not conducive to the long-term success and viability of this mode. Let's also talk about keeping this general leaderboard. I mean, look, I guess you don't want to take away people's progress. I can see this both ways, but at the same time, I'm also like, what is the point of this anymore? I don't know why they just didn't do a single leaderboard like every other competitive game does, and just reset it every month or two to incentivize people to want to keep climbing in general, and just take away this. I guess you could say you keep it, it's a measuring stick, but it's the same kind of problem here where a lot of these accounts at the high level are still shared between multiple people, which in my opinion is frankly just, I don't want to say cheating, because it's not explicitly, against the rules, but frankly just kind of shitty. You know what I mean? It serves no purpose. So that's more of a personal thing. You can fall either way on that. And by the way, I'd love to hear your feedback on my opinions here and what you guys think. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, respectfully, of course, as always, kind of what you think, whether or not you even care about this. Many of you very well may not, but I do. And so it is something that I wanted to talk about. Let's also talk about rewards. Now, I said it was a good thing that we have rewards, right? And it is. It is a good thing that we have rewards. What's not a great thing is the quality of the rewards are just okay. They're really not anything special. They're kind of meh, if I'm going to be completely honest. And the other thing too is I really would have loved to have seen them not do only top 100 for these rewards. Look, you want as many people to participate in this as possible. One, for the health of the game overall. Two, because it's exciting when you can share these kinds of things with your community, where you beat someone you shouldn't have, or you had a really close loss or whatever else. This is such a missed opportunity, man. And it really comes down to Plarium just being incredibly stingy all the time with rewards. They just are incredibly stingy about giving back to the player community, and it doesn't make any sense. Your chances of getting anything good out of this, out of a couple shards, is basically close to zero, right? So why not just extend this to top 1,000? You know what I mean? Why not make it at least top 500 like platinum, or top 1,000? Give a little more people rewards. Or frankly, what I would love to see is you have even larger brackets where you've got first place, top 10, you know what I mean? Top 100, top 1,000, and then maybe top 5,000, or top 10,000. Give more opportunity to people to earn small rewards. And you don't have to give them a sacred shard. Oh boy, what an incredible gift, right? But just give them something. Give them a reason to want to participate, and to feel like it's actually worth their time. So I think overall, the end of season rewards, these are also pretty weak in general. Like, you're finishing first place, which requires an insane amount of gems and time, and you're getting 2 primal shards, 2 void shards, and a sacred shard. Woo, 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 wee, woo. Wow, what an incredible reward. Par for the course for Plarium, but I really wish at some point they would just wisen up and start being more player friendly overall, so that people play this game longer, as opposed to deciding to leave it to play something else. So that's another thing that bothers me. And then I think the other big thing is, Live Arena Seasons was the mode that they promised us, right? That was what they said. They were going to give you seasons. Okay, cool. They gave us seasons in the barest sense of the word, but they did deliver on that. They did do what they say they were going to do. But the thing that really bothers me about Live Arena overall and PvP overall is there is still so much untapped potential with this mode. And I truly cannot fathom why Plarium doesn't sit down and really dedicate some of their engineering resources to bringing us friendly battles, right? Or the ability for content creators to create their own tournaments. When you look at the success of other games in this genre, one of the big things that always stands out is, you can look at like Clash of Clans or Clash Royale, like the ability to have people compete across tournaments or things like that. It could be Super Smash Brothers, doesn't matter. Like, there's no way in this game for you to schedule a friendly battle, for you to create your own tournament. And it's just such a missed opportunity. And here we are 2 years after the introduction of Live Arena, and we've seen absolutely zero progress for that to change. And now normally with other games or other developers, I would be like, well, it's okay. They can't give you everything at once. Maybe a couple months from now, they'll finally deliver that feature, and we'll have a new way to create content, a new way for people to participate in Raid, a new way for us to grow the game. But this is Plarium, and we all know that it takes them eons of time to develop even the simplest things or fix even the smallest things in the game that are not directly related to monetization or a rare champion that's too powerful that they don't like to see. And it just sucks to say this because I know they have talented people on their staff, and I do not understand why they are so stubborn about fixing these things or about improving these game modes so that you can get more content, so that more people play the game, so that they end up spending more money anyway. I feel like a crazy person talking about this because I've talked about this in previous videos before, but it continues to be the biggest disappointment with Raid Shadow Legends is how unbearably slow it is to get things fixed or bring new content into the game, specifically that is related to Arena. Like, I would say overall, Plarium does a decent job of bringing new content on a yearly schedule. But when it comes to Arena, like, it's been 2 years since Live Arena rolled out, and we've had basically no improvements in that time. Any kind of battle rules that change, that could be something that brings a unique flavor. And I wouldn't want to see this all the time because realistically, if you don't have a bunch of champions, you're going to be very restricted by this. But maybe, once a month or once every week or so, there's a day where the rules change and you have a different kind of meta that pops up. Again, just thinking outside the box or just doing more to bring genuine improvements to this stuff beyond the bare minimum. Because honestly, guys, and I hate to say it, but it feels like the vast majority of the time when it comes to improvements in this game, it's always the bare minimum. It's never the full version that you expect. It's never the thing that you think is going to take it to the next level. It's always the least amount of work and the absolute smallest improvement possible. And unfortunately, this mode is another great example of that. Is it an improvement? Yes, absolutely. Is it better than what we had before? Yes, it is. But is it anywhere close to what it should be or what it could be? And most importantly, what it could be for Plarium's bottom line that helps them to make more money and grow the game? It's not. I don't know where the disconnect is. I don't know why, why this feedback isn't listened to more closely, or why there's so much stubbornness on implementing some of these things in a reasonable backlog, or why Plarium doesn't hire more people to help them do this stuff. Because there is no way you can tell me that a content creator having a weekly tournament or you being able to schedule a friendly battle with clanmates wouldn't increase your desire to play Raid, wouldn't increase your enjoyment of the game, and therefore most likely increase your spending and increase the money that Plarium makes. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. You can let me know in the comments down below, like, Drock, I just don't think it would improve their money. I don't know why someone would think that, but maybe people out there do. So overall, it's a mixed bag, guys. It's a mixed bag. Like, yes, we have a seasonal mode, which gives people some reason to want to play this again. But is it everything that it could be or should be? No, it's absolutely not. And it's just, I guess I don't know why I ever expect anything different at this point, which sucks to say, but I keep hoping that one of these days that they'll actually deliver everything they should when it comes to these updates and comes to these upgrades. And I'm always left wanting for more. And that doesn't even touch on how the fact that Classic Arena hasn't changed at all. The end times haven't changed at all. I could make an entire video about all the things they could do to improve PvP in this game and make it more fun, not only for people like me who have spent money, but make it more fun for everyone. And unfortunately, it just seems like it will fall on deaf ears and it's not actually going to change. So Plarium, if you happen to see this video, hey, listen, thanks for bringing us something. But if you do see this video and you're open to some constructive feedback, please actually put some of this stuff on the schedule so that we could really have a better overall experience, and so that people will continue to play Raid farther in the future, right? I think at the end of the day, if someone is a content creator in the game, that's in my best interest. Obviously I'm biased here, of course. I make content on this game, but also for the communities that are, so heavily invested in the game, either in time or money, I think it would be great for them too. So anyway, those are my thoughts, guys. I wanted to give it time. I really wanted to come into this, and just play it for a bit and be completely honest about it. I always try to be, of course, what I really think. Again, nobody ever wants to be negative, but you got to call it as you see it. You got to be honest. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back, the Plarium way. There you go. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you agree with me, disagree with me, if there are things that I forgot, let me know in the comments down below. And, maybe 2 years from now, we'll get some more improvements. I'm Big Papa Drock, and I'm out.